guys, welcome back to my channel. So my camera did something really funky and it lost all of my priming footage, but I just used my usual primers, which was the NYX Angelville primer and then the L'Oreal Magic Lumi primer. And now I'm just going in with my MakeupForever HD Stick Foundation, and I'm just using this Zoeva brush to just buff it into my skin and give a really nice flawless and full coverage. I absolutely love this foundation. It's one of my favorites. And so I'm just going to be applying that all over my face, just building the coverage where I need it. And also my brows are already done. I use the Anastasia Dipbrow as always. So for concealer, I'm going to be using the MAC Pro Longwear concealer. I love this concealer, and I'm just going to be applying this in the areas where I would highlight, so underneath the eyes, bridge of the nose, chin, and also my forehead. The reason why I love this concealer so much is because it does not budge. It will literally stay in place and not crease for hours, which is why I love it. And then I'm just blending it out with this Sedona Lace brush. It's my favorite brush to blend out concealer. I watched Kathleen Lights use it and I was like, oh my god, I need it. So I bought it at IMATS and it is amazing, guys. I'm gonna link everything down below so you guys can check it out, but it's really good to blend out your concealer and it doesn't pick up the product like a beauty blender does, so you get a really, really nice full coverage effect when you use this brush. So I just kind of pat it. I don't buff it, I just pat it in. And then I'm going ahead and set my concealer and the areas that I highlighted with Laura Mercier translucent powder. You can call this baking, you can call it setting, whatever you want. I'm just going to apply a good amount to catch the fallout underneath my eyes, and then I'm just going to put a little bit in those other areas as well. Next, I'm going to just conceal underneath my brows. Like always, I use the Hard Candy Glamoflauge concealer. You guys already know this. I use this to carve out my brow, and then I also use it to prep my lid for shadow. So I go ahead and drag it down and then blend that out. Some of you guys asked me if I think this concealer works good for under the eyes. The answer is no. I've tried this on the rest of my face and I don't like it because it's so thick and it creases. But when I use it to carve out my brow and I use it as just a base for my shadows, and I set it with a either loose powder or a cream eyeshadow, it works really well because it has such full coverage and I have a lot of veins in my eyelids. So I don't know why it works for me it works for me on my eyes, but it doesn't work for me on my face. So just something to keep in mind. I don't know. Let me know down below if you guys have had a different experience with it. Anyways, I'm going to go in with this Inglot shadow and a Makeup Addiction Cosmetics blending brush. This is just going to be my transition shade. So I'm just going to be lightly blending that into my crease. And then I'm taking this Taupe shade and I'm going to be applying this also in my crease, just a little bit lower, making sure to hit the outer and inner corners of my eyes. And I'm just going to be really blending this out. I don't want there to be any harsh lines, so I'm just going to keep on blending and applying a little bit more color. Since the shades are a little bit on the lighter side, I have to build up the colors just a little bit, but I just want it to be nice and smoky. Next, I'm going in with this darker taupey brown shade, and I'm going to be applying that more so in the outer corner of my eye, just deepening up that outer corner. I'm going to drag it in just so that everything's cohesive, but the majority of the product is going to start in the outer corner, and then I'm just going to blend my way in just to give my eyes a nice smoky effect, and then I just blend it all out. I'm using this Memebox eyeshadow stick as a base for my Pigment. It's just a really nice creamy eyeshadow. So I'm just going to be applying that first, and then I'm going in with this Inglot Pigment and some Violet Voss glitter glue. I just apply the glitter glue first, and I'm using a really small detail brush just to apply the pigment in the inner third of my eye. And then using the Inglot gel liner in 77, I'm going to do my eyeliner. I do switch brushes, so I switched back to my Smith Cosmetics brush because I tried to use that Morphe angled brush and it just didn't work for me, so I just switched back to the Smith Cosmetics brush. So I'm just going to be applying a wing. That's optional, of course, whatever you want to do. And I'm just going to be using these Flutter lashes. And while they dry, I'm just going to go ahead and do my under eye. I'm just taking those 2 shades and blending it under the eye. Kind of just, you know, I'm just smoking it out. I'm not really doing anything too crazy there. And then I'm just going to line my waterline and a little bit underneath with a black gel liner. And then I'm going to take that medium taupe shade that we use and just blend out that black so it's nice and smoked out. Next, I'm going to contour my nose just a little bit. I'm using the Anastasia Cream Contour Kit and this really small smudger brush from e.l.f. Cosmetics. And I'm just going to be pretty much just defining the bridge of my nose and then adding the cream white shade to the bridge and then underneath where I put the warm shade just to make my nose look a little bit straighter because my nose is crooked. I hate it. So I try to do that to make it look a little bit more straight. And then just taking this e.l.f. Cosmetics bronzer palette, I'm going to bronze and pretty much contour at the same time. I didn't want anything too heavy because I'm using, you know, a lot of liner and a medium lip for this look. So I'm just pretty much bronzing up the skin. This palette is really beautiful. It blends really, really nicely. And then I'm just taking the City Color Cosmetics blush and I'm just going to pop that on the cheeks lightly for a flush of color. And then using the Balm Mercier Luminizer, I'm going to highlight on my cheekbones, the bridge of my nose, above my brows, and then also on my brow bone and Cupid's bow. And then I just pop some in the inner corner as well. So basically everywhere. And then for my lips, I'm just going to go in with this amazing new liquid lipstick by Dose of Colors in the shade Desert Suede. And I first apply it with a Smith Cosmetics lip brush just to get a nice clean line for the bottom lip, and then I switch back to the applicator just to finish off. And yeah, that is the look, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this. Let me know down in the comments below what you think, and I will see you in my next tutorial. Bye, guys.